Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your August the 8th spiritual principle day in a meditation. The title of today's meditation, Accepting Ourselves as Works in Progress. A spiritual understanding of self-acceptance is knowing that it is all right to find ourselves in pain, to have made mistakes, and to know that we are not perfect. That's taken from the IP number 19, Self-Acceptance. The 12 steps are the solution. Change is a process, not an event. NA members often say, because we find it to be true. The same can be said about how we begin to experience self-acceptance in our first days, weeks, or months clean. That intuitive sense that we are, in fact, okay can feel like coming in from the cold. We enjoy a bit of self-acceptance even before we've worked all 12 steps. As we work the NA program, those feelings deepen, settle, and evolve just as we do. It's a mistake to assume self-acceptance awaits us once we change some external conditions. We may hope without evidence a new year, a new flame, a new town, or a new diet will bring us contentment. When we reach outside ourselves to fix what's within, our plan is to emerge as better people, more worthy of acceptance. To our disappointment and pain, we also have found accuracy in this familiar saying, wherever you go, there you are. Sure enough, NA's literature, meetings, and online spaces help us find a better perspective on ourselves and our lives. Instead of focusing solely on our admirable qualities, we learn to embrace all the facets of ourselves, our assets, and our liabilities. We take responsibility for our recovery and, in working in 12 steps, come to accept the world around us and within us. We divulge our secrets and find we're not alone. Even amid my struggles and sometimes bad behavior, one member wrote, I'm all right with this perfectly imperfect me. I know my wounds and my weapons. I'm a work in progress and I am okay. We embrace our values, our process, and our growth. I'll try to accept all of me today. I'm neither my strengths nor my weaknesses. I am both, broken in places, but just enough to let the light shine in. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Acceptance of oneself is always a work in progress. Always. There's not a single day that I walk through that I am completely 100% in self-acceptance all day long. The pendulum from self-acceptance and partial acceptance of self to none, right? No acceptance of myself. The pendulum tends to swing somewhere in the middle, a little bit to the left of center, a little to the right of center, hardly ever all the way to the self-acceptance 100%, and hardly ever to the other direction of no self-acceptance at all. I have a balanced life in that area today, but The point is that when I'm not so strong in my self-acceptance, it allows room for doubt. It allows room for other character defects to take root and to act out in a manner that is not spiritual, because I'm trying to compensate for the void. I'm trying to compensate for what I feel is lacking. And it takes a lot of faith to walk in spiritual principles, even on the days when you're lacking. Because when you're lacking, if you're a human being like me, when you're lacking, you don't want the world to know that you're lacking. You don't want the world to see that something is missing. It's innate. It's not unnatural. It's quite natural for us to want to put our best foot forward, our best face out, right? It's natural. And to say that it's not, I disagree. I believe that people that walk in self-acceptance on a regular basis, they appear to, as they engage individuals, have it nailed. But if you were to sit down with them and ask them, is this really how you are all the time? More than likely, they will reveal to you, I have moments when I'm not in self-acceptance. I have moments when I'm down on myself because I feel like I could have done better, should do better. However, I try to always stay hopeful. And that's all this is that allowing ourselves space to not have perfect days, but to understand that reaching for the stars in this area, reaching for them, striving for self-acceptance in this area is a place where we want to be. We don't ever want to stop wanting to be able to practice these spiritual principles in all our affairs. Is it going to happen? All of our affairs? It's possible, but more than likely, it's going to take a lot of effort. And in the effort, we may feel like it's not possible. Here's the thing, don't ever quit trying. And don't get discouraged when you don't reach the goal that you thought you should have reached. Because that's the whole purpose of strengthening our faith muscle. That's the whole purpose of continuing to work towards being able to apply spiritual principles in all our affairs. It's a step 12 for a reason, because there's a lot of other things that can get in the way, like resentment, anger, fear. There's a lot of character defects that can get in the way and cause us to stumble a little bit. And when that happens, if you don't acknowledge that that was an error, that I stumbled a little bit and tried to avoid it, more than likely in the future, right? You'll do it again. But if you take the time to value it and appreciate it and embrace whatever that stumble was, taking a good look at the motives that were involved, the people that were a part of it, you were the main character for sure, right? And you look at those and you embrace them and say, you know what? It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but I'm not going to stop trying. Let me get up, dust myself off, and be mindful that pride got in the way that time. So when someone comes for me, I don't necessarily have to take the bite, right? As long as they're not putting their hands on me, I don't have to take the bite. And in some situations, even if they are, the goal is to be able to call 911, right? Get some help, some authority, right? But we don't have to be pulverized either in the meantime. But the point is, are we learning? Are we learning what the character defect that was involved in the stumble? And that was an example of pride getting in the way, right? It could be many other things. You and you alone know. No one else will know more than yourself. So trust in that. Today, accept all of yourself. Neither let your strengths or your weaknesses control you, because you are there. You are made up of both of those. And both of them together, your strengths and your weaknesses, your assets and your liabilities, are all about you. They're who you are. And it's hard to love oneself in a healthy manner, not a self-obsessed manner, a self-aware manner, right? If you're constantly avoiding or denying the broken places, favoring the places that are well put together, right? But not being able to focus on the areas that have these cracks. And those cracks let the light of recovery shine in. And you can see them, and you can use that light to fill in those cracks with that gold, right? And allow it to illuminate your character in a positive way. We have to embrace ourselves. Accepting ourselves as a work in progress is where we're trying to go today with this. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to talk to you soon.